Alright, so going through these, find the degree and leading coefficient. The degree would be 4. Leading coefficient then would be 8. Okay, if this was a minus 8x to the 4th, then your leading coefficient would be negative 8. Since it's plus, it's positive 8. That's the one time students forget. If it's a minus, think of it as negative 8. Alright, polynomial or not, what do we think? Yes or no?
Yeah.
It's yes. Okay, square root of 3 is okay, square root of x is not okay, but that's yes. What do you think in B? It's different, right? Is it a polynomial?
Yes.
Yeah, if you multiply them out, you'll get x squared plus x minus 3x, or minus 2x minus 3. That's still a polynomial, it's just in factored form, so that's another yes. Sketch and give the left and right hand behaviors. Okay, so it is 5th degree negative. So that means it's going to go down because it's a negative leading coefficient. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be my sketch. And the left would be up or infinity. And the right would be down or negative infinity. Alright. Number 4, my degree. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would agree that that's 6. Now sometimes you might have like a 3rd degree polynomial that looks like this. That's still a 3rd degree because you can see it goes up, kind of down, and then up. It's got something called an inflection point. So 1, 2, 3. This is still a 3rd degree polynomial. So a 6th might go 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They might be little subtle curves, but that still would be 6. Alright, so number 5, something new for you. I want you to try to sketch a graph if f of x increases for x greater than 2 and f of x decreases for x less than 2. See if you can make a sketch that fits that criteria. Start with a graph like this, XY table, and just make sure you show where 2 is. Now make the graph increase after 2 and it decreases before 2. Alright, so these are not all that easy for students, especially right away. I wanted to introduce it to you. We'll do more of these next Thursday. Remember, your quiz on this material is next Friday. So we're trying to make a sketch of a graph. It increases for x greater than 2. So I'm going to draw kind of a dashed line. That's going to represent like where it changes direction. It's also the axis of symmetry. It's what it'll turn out to be. So increases after 2. So that means it's going to, it doesn't matter where, I'll just put it right here. It's going to start increasing after that. But to the left of 2, it decreases, and it's got to connect, so it's going to look like this. It decreases, and then it increases, and the change of direction is right at 2. So what you needed to be correct would be a parabola that opens up where the vertex is somewhere on x equals 2. So this right here would also be correct because it decreases till it gets to 2 and then increases after 2. When we're talking about this, this is on the x-axis. Did anybody have a parabola like that? Okay, so 1 was more than I thought there was going to be. So good job, Jeffrey. Now I'm actually going to ask you a tougher question, but you had really little chance to get this right because you didn't even know what really was asking. Why don't you try this more complicated one? Start by like making a dashed line at -1 and at 4, just to show you where it's going to change direction. See if you can fit a polynomial to that criteria. Alright, so it says it increases between -1 and 4. So I'm going to start by just drawing any kind of shape that increases from -1 to 4. But then it decreases until it gets to -1. So it's going to decrease, it's going down until it gets to -1. Then it goes up until it gets to 4, and then after 4 it decreases again. So we have a -3rd degree, or negative cubic. Anybody get that? Okay, we doubled. We went from 1 to 2. Does it make sense when you see it? Okay, so we'll do more of those. But that's one other thing in 4.1. Figuring out where it increases and decreases. So you might have to, like, you might be given an equation. Let's say this is y equals -2x cubed plus 10x squared minus 4x plus 1. And they might ask you where does it increase and decrease. So you're going to have to use your calculator to find these points. Okay, so you could calculate min, left bound, right bound there. And you can calculate the max, left bound, right bound guess. And then you can just say, well, you know that x value is -1 and that one's 4 based on what your calculator told you, then you can kind of answer the question. Okay, so tying in calculating minimums and maximum from what we've been doing in the past. Questions on that? We've obviously not mastered it, so we'll talk more about it.